Good morning and welcome to Brussels. As mentioned, I'm the United States Ambassador to the EU, and I'm here to welcome you to Brussels because that's what ambassadors do. I'm delighted to have you all here. I was privileged not long ago, November 20th, we had a summit between the United States and the EU. It was in Lisbon, Portugal, and attended by President Obama and the two heads of state of the EU, Herman Van Rompuy and Manuel Barroso. And interestingly, front and center, the top topic was the economy and innovation and how we're going to inject more growth into our economies. And what was interesting about that discussion is that the heads of state talked a lot about how to find ways that we can commercialize a lot of the ideas that you're going to be talking about today, how to recapture some of the magic of the tech revolution in the United States and also here in Europe. I was very privileged earlier in my career to have had a front row seat to that revolution. In the Clinton years, the late 90s, I had the privilege of serving as chairman of the Federal Communications Commission in the United States. That's the principal telecom regulator for the United States. And it was a wonderful time because we saw the beginnings of the internet revolution in the United States. And as I sat there in Lisbon listening to our leaders talk about innovation, I thought back to those times. And it occurred to me that for innovation to happen in an economy, it's not just about ideas, but it's also about creating a government environment for ideas to flourish. So the internet revolution in the United States was not just about government investment in R&D. There was a component of that. As many of you know, the internet probably would not have existed when it did without the investment by the United States government in the initial research that led to the Internet Protocol by an agency called DARPA, part of the U.S. Defense Department. But that wasn't all that happened. There was a wonderful cauldron of people and ideas and government policies that came together in Silicon Valley in the 90s. It was a culture of risk-taking that fueled the venture capital industry. It was favorable tax and immigration laws, the good decisions back then not to tax online transactions on the internet so e-commerce could get going. It was an environment of regulatory restraint at the Federal Communications Commission where we decided that we were not going to regulate the internet in its early years. We were going to give it space to grow. And I think most important, favorable immigration laws that allowed Silicon Valley companies to tap a global pool of talent. At the height of the internet boom, fully 50% of internet companies had an immigrant as a founder, principally from the East, China and India. And so you see, innovation doesn't take place in a vacuum. It's not just about ideas, it's also about the right kind of government policies that nurture innovation. Innovation doesn't come top down, it comes bottom up. So my message to all of you idea people is go forth and innovate and make sure that your governments give you the tools and create the opportunity for you to let your ideas grow and get commercialized and change the world. Thank you all very much.